In today's video, we're skipping right past the tropics because the tropics should be dying down now. We have that last disturbance that is expected to die out today. Nothing else to speak of, so we're diving straight into the upcoming pattern, talking about multiple snowstorms both in the west and the east, and then diving into the temperature pattern where more cold air is on the way and snow threats persist with every single one of those. So we're going to be diving into that, but before we do, be sure to check out Prestige Weather in the description and pinned comment down below, where we do weather consulting for businesses and individuals alike, starting at only $5 a month. Absolutely killer deal. We do have our winter forecast out in exclusive over there for a little bit longer. Also, our snowfall forecast compared to normal, and our when to expect your first snowfall video as well. So there's a ton of exclusive content over there alongside the consulting, which is the main purpose of the business. So it is a killer deal to say the least. Let's take a look here at this afternoon here on Saturday, November 4th. We do have a pretty major low pressure system here for the Pacific Northwest on the Canadian side of things, but we are seeing heavier rainfall there in the northwest corner of the United States, and we actually do have some snowfall there in the northern Cascades as a result of this system. As we move overnight tonight, we do see some snowfall mixing in now for portions of Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana in there, but that is going to be pretty exclusive for our mountaintops. As we move towards tomorrow afternoon, it's the same story, except we have another low now moving towards the coast of Oregon and Washington. Still some snowfall showers and some heavier pockets there for Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming alike. Let's just keep going towards Monday afternoon here on the 6th. And as you can see, we have a major 993 millibar low pressure center there for eastern Canada, bringing some rainfall and some snowfall here to the United States along the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the interior northeastern states. We have a whole lot of low pressure here in the northwest corner, and this is bringing snowfall to the Sierra Nevadas, the Cascades, and the Northern Rockies, and then rainfall in the lower elevations. This is an interesting time of year for them out west because elevation plays an even more major role than it typically does. It is the difference between heavy snowfall and only rainfall, which is certainly a stark difference to say the least. Let's move this towards Tuesday afternoon here on the 7th of November, and we see things are cooling down out west as more and more snowfall is starting to take over versus rainfall. A little bit less low pressure, but we do have 1,004 here in northern Montana, 1,002 here in eastern Colorado. Those are kind of tag teaming to bring all of this precipitation along our jet stream, which is riding something like this for this western corner. We also have a 995 millibar low pressure center there over the northeast, and this is continuing to bring some rainfall showers here to the northeast corner of the nation. Let's take this towards Wednesday afternoon here on the 8th, and things are really quieting down out west. It's left much cooler, but much more dry. We do have 1,006 millibar low pressure center here somewhere in between Illinois and Indiana. This is bringing both rainfall and snowfall depending on your location, so a little bit of a cooler, more wintry storm, but still not quite entirely wintry. We do see that this eventually, at least according to this model, does bring some snowfall here to New England and New York. So we could see some front-end snowfall there. We're also beginning to see some snowfall here for Colorado and New Mexico here on the 8th into the 9th. Speaking of the 9th, let's take a look at Thursday afternoon on the 9th, and we start to see some ridging starting to take place out west. So this jet stream is starting to kind of ridge out there, and we're starting to see more of a trough in the east. So we're going to watch for cold air moving in. There is some precipitation along this entire jet stream area, as you can see. So this is mostly in the form of rainfall there for a lot of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, but we do still have some snow showers up there for New England. By the time we reach Friday afternoon on the 10th, we do see a little bit more major precipitation taking place here for Virginia into the Delmarva. Certainly something to watch for. Same story in the deeper south for Texas and Louisiana. And then we get another little minor storm system out west, bringing snowfall to the Cascades, rainfall in the lower elevations. By the time we're reaching Saturday afternoon here on November 11th, we have some showery activity up and down this mountain range called the Rockies. You've probably heard of it. And there is some lighter snowfall there in those mountaintops, especially according to this model. This could change, but for Idaho, Montana, and then there for Colorado and New Mexico. And there's also some lake effect and just kind of non-lake effect showers happening here over the Great Lakes and the Northeast. And this is both in the form of rainfall and snowfall, depending on where you're at. Overnight, we do get a little bit of a minor snow system, perhaps for New England, so we'll be watching for that. But that's pretty heavy over Maine. Not quite as heavy as what we're seeing in the Northwest, though. Here is a 992. It's pretty far north up there in British Columbia. We're seeing a lot of the Cascades, seeing heavy snowfall, likely leading towards pretty strong totals there. This does eventually move into the northern Rockies, as you can see, for Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana, as very heavy snowfall that would accumulate very quickly if this does verify. We do get another storm system. It's like storm number 4 or 5 at this point, moving onshore to the northwest. And this is bringing snowfall from the Sierra Nevadas up through the northern Rockies and even into the Cascades. At the same time, we have a little bit more stormy activity nearby the Gulf of Mexico. Is a little bit more humidity, a little bit more warmth is moving in at that point. Let's go ahead and dive into the total precipitation. And two areas to really pinpoint here are going to be the Northwest, where we're seeing very heavy totals, and then also the South Central for Texas and Louisiana, as we get a lot of this Gulf energy bringing thunderstorms on shore. Now, let's take a look at the total snowfall, and no surprise, we see very large totals here, especially out west. So we're talking about potentially feet of snowfall for some of these mountaintops. And then we get more snow showery activity here through the northern states in both the central and the eastern states. So this is going to be anywhere from a dusting, if anything, in the grays. The blues 2 to 6 inches, purple 6 to 10. Pinks are 10 to 20, your pastel blues 20 to 30, and then your pastel pink's going to be 30 inches plus, and we're certainly seeing a lot of that, especially for the Cascades, but some of the Rockies as well, where perhaps 2 or more feet of snowfall will be possible. Certainly a whole lot. Now, the temperature pattern, we do see colder air moving in briefly here, followed by some pretty warm temperatures out west and for the central states. As we keep going, though, that does spread eastward from the 7th and through the 8th, 9th, 10th. But look behind it. We have plenty of cold air moving in, and this is looking to take over the eastern states around the 10th time frame. So now let's take a look at the 11th, 12th, 13th, and all of a sudden we're talking about very cold air in the east. Still pretty neutral temperatures is what I'd call it out west. Not below normal, not above normal, just pretty neutral here. So average conditions can be expected, but certainly below normal temperatures in the east as we approach the midway point of the month of November. But take a look at this. When we're looking at the 14th, there's certainly very cold temperatures along the eastern seaboard, but same story along the west. This is going to be a little bit more indicative of a negative PNA pattern, and that stands for Pacific North American Oscillation, and this should encourage warmth to return here to the east over time, but we'll be watching that closely. This is pretty far in the long range, and things can certainly change between now and then. But we do upload every single day, so we will keep you guys up to date with this. You should also subscribe for daily weather uploads just like this one. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload, so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.